Hello and welcome everyone to Lowell Park. Game 18 of the Cape League season. The Brewster Whitecaps come up to Cotuit to face off against the Cotuit Kettleers. Chris Albright, Brooke Kilgore, Sorka Lewis, Riley Lewis joining me, Connor Shue, for this presentation of Cape League baseball. The Kettleers coming into this one 6-10-1, fourth in the West. Brewster coming in 9-7-1, third in the East. The Kettleers coming off of a split series against Falmouth, lost 3-1 last night. Won in walk-off fashion right here at Lowell Park 2 nights ago, 3-2. Chris, let's talk a little bit about that game last night. Solid pitching for the Kettleers, but the hitting wasn't quite there.
Well, for the entirety of this season, pitching has been solid for the Kets. Coming into this game, the arm rotation as a whole, 3.14 ERA. That's currently third in the Cape League, and you could see that on display yesterday. Some great innings from Reed Mooring, only allowing 1 earned run, the other one being unearned. Struck out 5, walked only 1. Dylan Scudder came in for an inning of hitless relief. Did walk 3, but was able to get out of there unscathed. And then Kyle Remington and Ryan Buckler also spending some good innings for Cotuit. They were able to keep a hot-hitting Falmouth team to only 3 hits. The only problem was some free passes. Cotuit pitching ended up walking 6 Commodores, and those just continued to add up. Eventually, Falmouth got the victory 3-1.
And now Cotuit playing Brewster, a team they've split the season series with as well. They've played both games in Brewster and really performed well in that first game, I think. All signs point to that being the turning point of the season back on the 24th of June. Saw them again on the second to last day of June, just this past Sunday, and lost to them in quite close fashion, 3-2. So looking for a little bit of revenge, trying to get up on that season series.
Well, that game against Brewster was a big one for the Kets. Coming into that one, the baseball wasn't particularly what we've seen in the past couple of games, especially. So to get that win on the road, we'll keep mentioning it. It was a hot game. It was 90 degrees. The Kets were playing in their warm-up shirts. So it was a bit of an unorthodox game, but the Kets go out there, beat Brewster by 4 runs. Cotuit coming into that game 1-7. So a 6-game losing streak going into that one at Stony Brook Field, and then able to buckle down and beat Brewster, who started the season 6 games undefeated.
And Brewster has really tumbled since then, only winning 3 of their next 8 in that one. So they come into this one after a loss 10-2 at home against Harwich. Just tough ball game. Tied their game the day before that. How do they come to bat in this one against Cotuit, Chris?
Some familiar faces against Cotuit from Brewster that we'll see for either the second or third time this season, and a couple of new faces as well, Connor. Good mix of both. Leading off for the Whitecaps, Josiah Ragsdale, who's just had a phenomenal summer. Top 10 in a lot of offensive categories, just player-wise. He's really catapulted this Brewster Whitecaps offense into what it is today. Batting second, Cal Fisher. Brendan Lawson batting third. Lawson's a new face that will be seen for the first time this season against Cotuit. 4 through 6, Dalton Wentz, Carson Kearse, and Ryan Martin. And then the bottom third of the lineup card today for the Whitecaps, Drew Rogers, Colton Coates, and Michael Anderson.
Ian May is on the bump for the Kettleers, pitching against that order, 2 2/3 innings. In one start, allowed 6 hits, struck out 3, allowed 3 runs. And what does the defense look behind the UCLA Bruin May?
We'll start with the outfield because that's been such a high point for Cotuit this summer. A plethora of outfielders that are quick, that are great defensively, and that's no different today. Andrew Wiggins will be in left, Caden Bogenpole in center, and Easton Winfield getting the starting nod for Cotuit. He'll be in right field. The infield from first to third, Case Sanderson at first, Jaron Avincula and Luke Matthews make up the middle infield, and Camden Johnson reclaims his spot at the hot corner where he's been commanding it all summer long. And then doing the catching today for the Kettleers, Jack Natilli.
Johnson played out in left yesterday, comes back to his natural position at the hot corner. After we go to a quick conversation we had with said Cam Johnson a couple of days ago about all things Kettleers, the season he's been having, and some of the best things to do on Cape, we will have the lineup for Cotuit and the starting pitcher for Brewster after that here in a moment. Hello and welcome back to the Kettleers pregame show. Chris Albright, Connor Shue, and he's Camden Johnson, Kettleers third baseman. You know, the team's been real hot lately at the plate. What's been going right over there?
I think we just kind of decided to stop taking it. We were sitting back taking it and being passive at the plate, and our thing lately has just been ambush. Don't go up there timid, ready to swing the bat, ready to swing it early at that, attack fastballs, and just get some confidence back. So.
Now, man, in the past week, especially for you, you have been absolutely tearing the cover off the ball. With that familiarity, can you just kind of talk with, like, we're now nearly a couple weeks, maybe even close to a month of being here on Cape. How has that familiarity really begin to step in for this group?
Oh, yeah. For me personally, it was kind of a sense of belonging. You know, I came in here and I was struggling to start off, and it was hard. It was hard not to wonder if I even belonged here. Then, you know, I just had to sit back, take some deep breaths, get some good swings on the ball, and I'm up there with the best of the best, and I know that now. And I think you can see the confidence kind of switching in a lot of our guys, and we're playing with some swagger now. So I think we're just playing more loose right now and having some fun now. So.
And we can tell that up in the broadcast booth, too. All you guys seem pretty close, like you guys are really a tight-knit group. What does it take for that to happen so quickly, like only a month in summer ball?
Mm-hmm. We're all up here for the same thing at the end of the day, even the guys on the other teams in the league. We're all up here to get better and push ourselves as much as we possibly can. And for us, we started off about as bad as you can start off. And so, we had no choice but to get close, and we were in it together. And the only way we're going to get out of it is to be close and be together. So, that's all it took.
You're kind of talking like being close with these guys. What have been some of those cool moments this summer? We'll go off the diamond that you've been able to like bond with all the team and everything like that.
Yeah. The Cape is an awesome place. It's obviously historic. I've never really been anywhere like this before in my life, and I'm loving it. We've had some bonfires. We've been out to the beach together. We've been on the off days. I went to Rhode Island because you can gamble in Rhode Island at 20, but so we went and hit a casino on one of the off days. But it's just fun. It's fun getting out and enjoying getting to know the Cape outside of the field. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, man, it does sound like you're having fun. We'll finish you off with this one. I feel like the thing that people go to a lot on Cape is food. The food here is incredible. What do you think your favorite spot is here so far?
Ooh, I know the lobster rolls are a huge thing, but I'm not a seafood guy myself, so I can't speak for them, and I know I'm going to catch a lot of hate for it. But my host mom got me to try one. It was a good lobster roll, but still not good. But I got to say the coop, man. It's been a daily routine of mine.
What's your coop order? Give the coop order real quick.
The BLT. It is a capital B, lowercase LT. It is all bacon with a little bit of lettuce and tomato, and it's perfect. Crispy, money.
You can't go wrong with the BLT. Cam, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
Kettleers Whitecaps here at Lowell Park. Game 18 in the Cape League season, nearing the halfway point. It's really flown by so far, Chris, hasn't it?
It feels like just yesterday we were getting to Lowell Park to watch the Kettleers take on the Lexington Blue Sox in a preseason scrimmage. And now you blink and we're nearly halfway through the season. It helps when you're playing so many games in the span of a week, you could say. A lot different than the college season where you're only playing on weekends and maybe a midweek. It's pretty nonstop here, just like many other summer ball leagues across the country.
Last off day each team had was this past Monday. They'll have another one in 2 days on Monday after they play Wareham tomorrow. We're going to have a quick break here in a moment, again, as we go to the national anthem. So we'll be right back in just a minute.
Bats cleanup. 5, 6, and 7. It's Jack Natilli, Camden Johnson, and Luke Matthews. And then wrapping it up, Case Sanderson and Easton Winfield.
And then on the defensive side, who comes behind the pitcher Trevor Hansen for Brewster?
Outfield from left field to right for Brewster. It's Carson Kearse, Josiah Ragsdale, and Ryan Martin. Infield from first to third, Michael Anderson, Dalton Wentz, Cal Fisher, and at third base, Brendan Lawson. And then doing the catching today for the Whitecaps, Drew Rogers.
Drew Rogers rounding out that defense behind Trevor Hansen, who anchors a Brewster pitching staff that's fourth in the league in earned run average, a 342 mark. Cotuit, third in the Cape League with a 314 ERA. Allowed 5 runs between the last 2 games and 8 runs altogether throughout the month of July. Just 4 games deep. So this has been the most dominant stretch of baseball we've seen from the Kets.
Well, it's in large part to some great starting pitching in the past few games for Cotuit, really getting those innings worked in, and in the length that the starting pitching is out there for the Kettleers, it gives the offense a good chance to build up a lead. So then when the relief pitching comes in for Cotuit, you have that cushion. You have that in your back pocket. And Cotuit's been doing a solid job responding well when the starting pitcher is throwing a good game. They give that run support.
Ian May looking for that good start. He struggled in his first in a Cotuit uniform in the 2025 summer. 2 2/3 innings pitched, 3 runs allowed, or 2 allowed from May, 6 hits, 3 punch outs, and he didn't allow a walk. So there was some to like in May's start. He's a left-hander, just finished his senior season at UCLA. He was a Bruin in a bit of a swingman role, 27 appearances, 12 starts, and shoved for 70 2/3 innings, one of the leading marks on the team.
Yeah, he did have a solid year at UCLA. He spent a couple at Cal before transferring from NorCal to SoCal, and had some good success at both programs. This summer, looking to harness that same style of pitching that he had his collegiate season, and this will be a team he should feel a bit more comfortable against. His only start this season came at Brewster.
So he's already seen this lineup for the most part. Ragsdale, Fisher, Wentz, Kearse, Anderson, all those guys in the lineup today for Brewster played last time against Cotuit. Missing a couple key guys, Carson Tinney not in the order today for Brewster, although he has had a really tough season at the dish, batting under 100 on his way to Texas next year by way of Notre Dame, but he's a guy who could pick it up, along with the rest of this lineup in Brewster that's been kind of scuffling.
Well, the Whitecaps started extremely hot this season. Like we mentioned, started 6-0. And since then, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. A couple good wins. There's been some losses that Brewster fought well in, just unable to walk out with a win. So they've dropped now to 9-7-1. You say dropped. They're still sitting pretty above 500. But when you start 6 games undefeated, and now you have 7 losses to only 2 more wins, it does sting a little bit.
They've been leapfrogged by YD and Harwich in the standings. They played Harwich twice in the past couple of days, similar to how Cotuit plays Falmouth on the 3rd and the 4th. And Harwich went 1-0-1 in those 2, so just a takeover. And Harwich got him 10-2 last night, aided by an 8-run 7th inning on reliever Douglas Bauer, so that really sent things out of whack. They didn't play a 9th inning due to darkness. Ian May takes the slab, working third base side against Josiah Ragsdale, the batting average leader this summer on Cape. He's still hitting over 400.
I mean, he's been on a tear this summer. And you think comparison-wise, you look at what Jaron Vincula was doing last summer, that's what Ragsdale's doing this year.
The pitch home. Cracked high in the air, softly into the glove of Luke Matthews. Nice play over at his shortstop spot. 1 down.
There's a lot of rotation in this Cotuit infield. A lot of guys that can play different positions. You sometimes move him around, but Luke Matthews, when he's played shortstop, he's been solid.
He's in game number 4 in a Kets uniform, his first summer with the team from Kent State. Up to bat, Cal Fisher, the shortstop swinging it right-handed. 1 for 3 in last night's game against Harwich. Fouled back. It's a 0-1 count to Fisher. From Florida State, tough regular season so far. 4 for 17 through his first 5 games. Did have a couple of hits last time against Cotuit. On the ground towards third, routine play for Johnson, who guns it off the base. Sanderson was spun around, and Fisher reaches.
On Johnson, we've seen him make routine throws from third base all summer long. That one just didn't get comfortable in the pocket after gloving the ball. And exactly like you said, just pulled Sanderson off the base.
Usually fairly sure throwing from the hot corner, a rare error for Johnson. And steps Brendan Lawson, a man the Kettleers haven't seen yet. Left-handed swinging third baseman, freshman from Florida. And he was really good in his first year with the Gators, .317 average. Started all 60 games they played. And he's 6 for 12 on the summer to start. Homer and 2 doubles. He's been hitting the cover off the ball. Couple of Gators in the order typically for Brewster. Blake Sear usually joins him, but he's getting an off day. That's a strike, 1-1 for May.
May's not much of a strikeout pitcher. You look at what he was doing at UCLA and at Cal, more of a contact type of guy.
70 2/3 innings at UCLA this past year, 47 strikeouts. A man of the ground out.
Groundouts, flyouts. May does a good job of not necessarily giving up hard contact.
He's got a 2-1 count against Lawson. Nice breaking pitch. Just missed the outside corner.
So May, when he was at UCLA, he was one of 3 qualified Bruin pitchers, meaning he threw enough innings to where his stats were able to be qualified. Out of the 3, he allowed the least hits.
Ground ball, double play, in play. Don't make it, can't get the lead runner. Or they got the lead runner, could not get Lawson screaming down that first base line, 2 down.
Well, it's Jaron Avincula. He's a sure-handed second baseman. He's been making plays all summer long, not just on lineouts or pop-outs where he'll show off that athleticism getting to the baseball, even just the quick release, getting it out of the glove over to second or to first, really plays the game at a high level.
Dalton Wentz batting cleanup. Switch hitting second baseman, a Demon Deacon. Lifts it high in the air out to right center field. Bogan pull ragging over. But the right fielder, Winfield, will take it himself. May paints a clean first half of the first inning. We'll go to the bottom. It's scoreless here at Lowell Park. bottom half, he was incredible at UC Irvine this past year. 95 and a third innings pitched, 330 earned run average. This guy's been a weekend starter for every single weekend that he's spent at UC Irvine his first 2 years.
Well, Irvine plays good baseball out in the Big West. Them, UC Santa Barbara, some of those schools that really stand out. And the Anteaters, a very solid program. So when you have Hansen, who led the Anteaters in innings pitched and strikeouts and ERA, that speaks to the level of baseball that he plays. At one point this past season, he had 25 innings of scoreless baseball pitched. That, I need to work on my math, that's just under 3 full games of innings where he did not allow a run.
He shoved, and he continued to throughout the season. Again, almost 100 innings of work. As an Anteater, one of the more fun mascots in college baseball as well.
I'm a big fan. A lot of those California schools have solid mascots. One of them, the Banana Slugs, Santa Cruz?
I think so.
UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs.
The Anteater faces off against the new Yellow Jacket, formerly a Cal Bear. Jaron Advincula took ball 1. He's on a 3-game hit streak. Had 1 for each of the past 2. Got a couple of hits against Hyannis 3 games ago. So far this summer, Trevor Hansen has made 1 start, went 3 innings, struck out 2, allowed 2 runs. And he's behind early.
And that damage was primarily in his first inning, after he was able to buckle down and spend 2 scoreless frames afterwards. But getting out of the first inning, a big step for him here today.
First strike of the count to Advincula. Hansen relies on a fastball, curveball, changeup arsenal. Does well to tunnel the fastball and changeup. Look the same out of the hand. Ball 4 to Advincula. Leadoff base runner for the Cats.
Yeah, Advincula is now doing a good job of drawing those walks. We saw this past summer with him, and especially his 2 seasons at Cal, he was able to have great plate discipline. Did get heavy with the strikeouts early in this season, but now his eye at the plate is really shining.
That was his 6th walk of the season. And steps Caden Bogenpole, his first time hitting second with the Kettleers. He came into pinch hit yesterday. Did not record a hit. His first time stepping in the box for the Kettleers, he lasered a home run over the 397-foot fence in dead center. Quick pickoff move over to first, wasn't in time.
Well, when he was pinch hitting, he should have had a hit for all intents and purposes, but the right fielder for Falmouth, Antonio Morales, just made a spectacular diving catch to rob Bogenpole of a hit down the right field line.
Hit it sharply on a line, and it was tailing towards the right field foul line, but you said it. Morales made the play of his life, probably, to go and rob that one. He made up a lot of ground. Bogenpole's a guy a lot of people pitch around. He's already got 6 walks through 3 games.
Now, he got walked a lot in college. You think a guy who's got a very big frame, he's built like an athlete, think they'd swing at a lot of pitches, but Bogenpole will take.
He did also strike out a lot at school. 63 his sophomore year, 74 his freshman year, but it was countered with 55 and 53 walks and 13 and 20 homers, respectively. That's sophomore and freshman year. They're looking down to first a lot for Advincula, the most willing base stealer on the Kettleers. He's got a team-leading 9. One and 2 count to Bogenpole after the swing and miss. hit just under 300 at school between his first couple of years. He's staying true to Missouri State as well. The rare guy with these tools that you see stay at a mid-major at this era of college baseball, it's really admirable.
It really is. It's a whole nother element of loyalty now factored into college with the transfer portal, with NIL offers. There's a lot of players that go where the money takes you, and credit to them, they do deserve it. But Bogenpol able to just have that loyalty, that bond with Missouri State.
Just looking at a 2-2 count to Trevor Hansen. Hansen, 95 strikeouts in his 95 and a third innings. More of a control guy, but has the ability to punch tickets. Line on the ground through the hole. Back-to-back base runners to lead off this game for the Kettleers.
And that one's a hit for Bogenpol. He hasn't had all that much, we'll say, contact outside of that long home run. In fact, coming into that at-bat, he only had one hit on the summer, hitting 143. So now he's up to 2. He's had a home run and a single.
Now he's, 2 for 8 at this point. OPS well over 1,000.
Well, it's weird. You look at his at-bats. He's only had 8 official at-bats, but he's been up to the plate much more than just 8.
Socked high in the air, out to right center. Tracking it as Ragsdale makes the grab. Advincula tags, throw down, and he'll be in third. Well in time. Well hit ball puts Advincula at third with only 1 down.
Cotuit has been playing baseball as of recent that is aggressive from the get-go. A couple of days ago, Cotuit was going into the Falmouth game July 3rd. Cotuit had a streak of 4 straight games where they scored in the first inning. That was broken against Falmouth, but the Kets are trying to get back to that style here. I mean, you have Advincula on third and only 1 out.
Andrew Wiggins steps in. His first game batting cleanup. He's been hitting 5th mostly, but all around the lineup card. He's at 2nd and 9th as well. Worked 3 walks yesterday. Now he bats with runners on the corners. Two 2-0 count to Wiggins. Bogenpol on first, Advincula on third. The Kettleers have been seeing a lot of success when they score early. They're in prime position. Hansen trying to pitch out of trouble with 1 out. Outside, and he has been struggling to command his pitches early.
Yeah, he's not pitching to any batters. The counts have gone full, and they've gotten full quickly in the Kettleers' favor. Plenty of solid hitting counts available.
Advincula walked. Bogenpol singled. That's hit hard towards second. Double play ball potentially. Wiggins can't beat it out, and no run scores. Despite getting 2 aboard with no outs, the Kettleers go out without a run. It's scoreless going into the top of the second. Brewster hits next.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team.
Safe.
The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Ian May back out to pitch for the Kets after spinning a scoreless top half of the first. It's scoreless here at Lowell Park. Kettleers stranded a pair after Andrew Wiggins grounded into a double play. To end the bottom half of the first frame, up to bat, Carson Curse, Ryan Martin, Drew Rogers, 5 through 7 for the Whitecaps.
Curse, the only familiar face for Ian May. Ryan Martin and Drew Rogers have not yet played against Cotuit. But Curse, in the first game that he played against Cotuit, he went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. So looking to bounce back from that performance.
We'll see if he can. The right-handed swinging left fielder, he went 0 for 2 last night with a walk against Harwich. So far this summer, Curse, .229 batting average, homer a triple as part of his 8 base hits. And we've been seeing a lot of Yellow Jackets throughout the Cape League. We saw Kent Schmidt with Falmouth the past couple of games, and now you got Carson Curse up here. So Jaron Advincula seeing a lot of his future new teammates all around the league. And of course, he just transferred to Tech from Cal after 2 years there. He was part of a pair of Kettleers transfer announcements on the same day. Him and his former middle infield partner, PJ Moutsouridis, each announced their commitments not far off from each other. Moutsouridis going to Arizona State. Projects to probably be the starting shortstop there, but he said it himself, he's still got to earn it. Moutsouridis no longer with the Kettleers, had a hand injury, so he's out for the summer, unfortunately. But big part of this team early.
Brought a lot of energy in the dugout as well.
Strike off a 3-0 count. Ian May gets right with Carson Curse. Curse this year at Georgia Tech sported a .313 batting average, hit 20 doubles. May walks him.
First walk of the season issued by May. In his first outing, at 3 strikeouts, walked none. Here today, already 1 walk, no strikeouts.
Ryan Martin steps in for the first time against the Cotuit Kettleers. He's playing right field today, swinging it right-handed, and in his last game, it was also against Harwich just a couple of days ago on the 3rd when they were at Harwich against the Mariners. He went 0 for 3. So this Brewster offense has been slowed a little recently. Slugs that one out into left center. Bogenpul chasing it down towards the wall, and it's gone. Home run for Ryan Martin. Puts Brewster in the driver's seat in the top of 2.
It's only Martin's second hit of the summer. A recent addition to this Brewster Whitecaps squad. Now has 2 extra base hits as well. His first hit was a double. That one, a no-doubter to straightaway center.
Smashed it on a line out to left center and didn't even have a chance to really introduce him. Came up on the second pitch he saw and gave it a ride. This is actually just to touch on Ryan for a little more before we move on to Drew Rogers, who flares one in for a base hit into right field. Now we're really late on Martin.
I'm still eager to hear what you have on Martin.
Well, this is his second stop in summer ball in 2025. He was with the Holly Springs Salamanders of the Coastal Plain League earlier this summer, and he was incredible. 397 average, 6 homers, 8 doubles in 19 games, 68 at-bats, 1248 on-base plus slugging. So this guy was red hot coming into the Cape.
See, out of the things that I would have thought that would be coming out of your mouth, I was not expecting you to tell me you would be a salamander.
Fired to first by Matthews is in time to retire the first out of the frame. But it just shows that that power stroke we just saw is nothing new.
No, not at all. A lot of these guys out here able to just show off good skills at the college and summer league level, even if it's not on Cape.
May faces off against Michael Anderson. Takes a ball low. That was Colton Coates who grounded out.
I'm still hung up on the Salamanders.
It's one of the more fun team names. That's how they do it over in the Coastal Plain League.
We've had Anteaters. We mentioned Banana Slugs, Yellow Jackets, and now Salamanders.
May the Bruin fires home. Lifted into right field. Another base hit. Chugging towards third. Almost got the wave, but he stopped short. Runners on the corners with one out after Michael Anderson ripped a single.
Anderson, just a couple games ago when Cotuit went to Brewster for the second time, he played in his first game on Cape for the summer. Since then, he has just really gotten into form. He's had some good appearances for the Whitecaps, and he's getting into the hitting department as well.
Early mound visit for Ian May. Here comes Tim O'Connor, the Cats pitching coach, and the rest of the infield. He went only 4 batters deep in the first inning. Cal Fisher reached on an error, and he was able to work around that traffic to get out of it without a run, hit, or walk. And then he allowed 3 straight base runners to start. A walk to Curse. Martin homered, drove in Curse. Then Drew Rogers singled. And here we are back to the top of the order. Josiah Ragsdale's going to come up next. He popped up on a soft flare to second. I think he's looking for more this time.
Well, he can certainly get more. I mean, we talked about it when he first came up. Just the summer that he's been having. I mean, even without the long ball, you look at his stats, I think this one stands out to me as the most interesting. A typical leadoff man for the Whitecaps. Ragsdale has 11 RBIs, no home runs. So being the leadoff guy, he's driving in runs.
Looked at a first pitch ball. He bats with runners on the corners with only a single out. 2-0 Brewster here in the top of the second. Ian May struggling through 2 starts on Cotuit. And last summer he pitched with the Kettleers and was much better in a couple of relief appearances, 1.59 ERA and 5 2/3. Not the same now. May looking to work through it though. High tapper towards short. This could be 2. Advincula fires to first in time. Got him. May works out of the jam, only allows a pair of runs. Cotuit up to bat next. Jack Natilli, Camden Johnson, and Luke Matthews 5 through 7 for Cotuit here on Cape League TV.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Trevor Hansen out there for his second frame of work with Brewster. Him and Ian May worked scoreless first innings, but Ian May got tagged with 2 in the top half of this frame. Now Trevor Hansen pitches with a lead. He worked out of trouble his first time around. We'll see how he does against Natilli, Johnson, and Matthews due up for the Cats.
He has some run support now in his back pocket. That gives you a little bit more to work with as a pitcher, not just mentally, but game plan-wise as well.
Here's Jack Natilli. Pretty incredible at school this year. 333 average. An OPS just over 1,000. 9 homers, 14 doubles from the catcher position. It's not offense you're getting there all the time.
No, not typically seeing many catchers who are above, I would say above average just compared to other positions offensively.
Here comes the 0-1 to Natilli. Curveball was just a bit low, and I think Natilli thought that was a strike for a second. Natilli was an All-Big 12 second-teamer this year. Here comes the pitch. Big swing and a miss.
That's a curveball from Hansen. Just kept it on the inside part of the strike zone.
1-2 count to Natilli. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. And Natilli has struggled with the K's this summer. That's his 13th.
It's the first strikeout thrown by Trevor Hansen today. Seems to be feeling a little confident coming out of that dugout after seeing his offense put up 2 runs.
In steps Camden Johnson. He's been swinging it well lately. Handful of multi-hit games already in July. Watches a strike on the inner half. Leads the team with 4 doubles. Johnson squared to bunt, has shown the ability to leg out singles close on the infield. So he's a guy who will pull that out in any situation.
He's got tremendous speed. Should he get on base, it's not rare to see him try to swipe a bag or 2.
Low pitch, 2-1. Johnson had 3 hits last game against Brewster. Double and 2 singles. It was a 3-2 loss. Ian May got the loss. Hayden LeFew got the win for Brewster. We saw him in each of the first 2 games against the Whitecaps. He was incredible. And funnily enough, he took the loss in the first game. Tapper on the ground towards first, handled by Anderson, and Johnson beats it out. Infield hit for Camden Johnson. It's what he does.
It's his speed. He's able to utilize it in such a great way. He saw that Hansen had been pulled off the mound on his follow-through enough to where he could try to leg out, just beating Hansen. But then Anderson was pulled too far off first base for the grounder, and so he had to break for the bag.
I think the training staff is coming out for Hansen. They're going to Give him a quick look alongside manager Jamie Shevchik. Not to mention the home plate umpire, Joe Gravina. He's joined by Mike Rabideau at first and Austin Preisel at third. All is well with Hansen, it looks like. The catcher, Rogers, heading back to his position as well. So Luke Matthews up to bat with a one-out base runner, Johnson. In steps Matthews, the shortstop out of Kent State, has come in with teammate Gavin Jones, the right-handed pitcher from the Golden Flashes. Jones yet to make his debut. Matthews has played a few games. This is the 4th appearance for Luke Matthews. Another throwback to first. How about the crowd today? This is the best contingent of Kettleers fans we've seen all season. The line all the way down left is just full of seats. A lot of fans out there with their lawn chairs. Each grandstand is packed. And then the outfield wall is lined from foul pole to foul pole, which is perfect because today it's not too sunny. It's warm, but there's no space where you need to hide under shade. So everyone is everywhere. It's a sight to see.
I think this is the first game we've seen people go from foul pole to foul pole.
Usually you'll see people on the left field side. It's typically where the shade is. But now it's extended all the way out there. I think there could be 100 people out there, at least.
I would say at the minimum for sure.
1-0 pitch, tapped on the ground, and gets past the glove of the shortstop, Fisher, to a board for the Kettleers.
And that started as soon as Camden Johnson broke at first. Looked like a pristine hit and run situation. And what that did is it forced Fisher to come to that baseball a little bit quicker. Maybe thinking about trying to make the play at second, and then his eyes came up to try to make the throw to first just before the ball got into his mitt.
Now it's Case Sanderson batting with a pair of runners, one down. He had a nice game last night. Pair of base hits, a single and a double. He scored the only run for the Kettleers. Out of the stretch inside a ball. Johnson fleet of foot on second. Matthews quick himself on first. I think with these two out there, there's a double steal in order. They both have leads. Sanderson chops it foul. Ball and a strike, one down. Bottom of the second, Kettleers looking to respond after a two-run top half of the frame by Brewster. Kettleers get Wareham in Wareham tomorrow. Another West Division matchup, swing and a miss for Sanderson. But first, got to try and beat the East Division foes, Brewster. Sanderson hitting just below 240 this summer. On base percentage near 390. Walks quite a lot off the end of the bat towards short, ready-made double play. He fires to first anyway. Got Sanderson, so now you got two runners in scoring position with two down.
No, Fisher, instead of worrying about the runner heading to second, maybe a bit reminiscent of what happened last time, just decided to go with the easy out, the sure out, as the throw beat Sanderson by a stride or two.
Probably the smart play. Johnson or Matthews was pretty close to the bag at second by the time he fielded that grounder. Now he's got to lead off second for Easton Winfield back in the starting lineup after 3 or 4 games on the bench. High tapper toward short, charging is Fisher, firing to first, not in time. That scores Johnson, an infield single. Winfield starts the scoring for the Kettleers.
Cotuit is taking no prisoner when getting the ball on the ground towards Cal Fisher. It's been 3 tough plays for the shortstop this half inning, just where he's had to charge the ball, field it on the run. On that last grounder by Winfield, Fisher ended up double clutching the baseball before throwing it. And that's what just took that little bit of precious time away from the throw that got Winfield. That would have got Winfield at first base.
Now it's Jaron Advincula back to the top of the order. Runners on the corners for him, who shoots one towards the first baseman. Anderson with a nice play to retire the second baseman. Advincula ends the inning, but the Kettleers tack on their first run. It's 2-1 Brewster heading to the top of the third.
Dream it. If you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
May steps back out there for his third frame. 2-1 ball game. Brewster up on Cotuit. They scored their first run in the bottom half. Brewster plated 2 in the top half of the second. Now we're in the third. May looking to preserve a good start after a struggle in the second inning.
Well, he was doing solid in the first, able to generate that weak contact like we talked about. The only time a runner reached base for Brewster that inning was via an error. So May just needing to harness some of that similar first inning stuff that he was throwing. And now, just like we saw Hansen get a little bit of momentum to start after seeing his offense put up some runs, hopefully May can have the same result.
Lineup here is Fisher, Lawson, Wentz, 2 through 4. Cal Fisher, the shortstop, trying to redeem himself after an early error and a ground out. Looking for his first hit in this game. Ragsdale ended the last frame against May, grounding into a double play. The Kettleers scored a run in the bottom half of the second on an Easton Winfield infield single. So getting back into the lineup and producing instantly. Gotta love that. He actually pinch hit towards the bottom of yesterday's game. He was the second batter to come up in the top of the ninth when the Kettleers tried to put something together at the end to come back against Falmouth. Nothing doing, though. Here comes the 1-1, way up and outside. May is not going to blow you away on the radar gun. That fastball came in at 88, but he's gotten away with pinpoint precision at the college level, has filled up the zone whenever he's having a good outing, if he's spotting his pitches in the right places and just peppering that strike zone. Today, unfortunately for him, has not been that. He's got 27 pitches, only 15 strikes. Into his motion, the 2-1. Lifted foul.
73 miles per hour on that curveball out of the hand of May.
Locked in a battle with Fisher. He's hitting .222 on the summer. Here it comes. Rocketed out to left field. That will get down in front of Wiggins. Another base hit, the 4th allowed by May.
May's first outing of the summer in 2 2/3 innings pitched, he allowed 6 hits. So this is nothing new or surprising that we're seeing out of May. When you are a contact pitcher, you will give up those base hits. It's all about limiting the damage once those hits reach base.
Guys like this get a lot of double play balls. That's how he ended his last inning. And here's another situation where you could get one of those. Live low in the zone against Brendan Lawson. He's a guy who can golf one out of there, though, so you have to be really careful. .1-0 pitch to Brendan Lawson. Socked out to left field. Another one drops in front of Wiggins. Back-to-back knocks.
Well, if you're Wiggins right now, maybe you take a step or two closer to the infield, seeing the way that the baseball is flying. It's not super solid contact coming off the bats, but the Whitecaps are able to time up this pitching from May.
Just flaring a couple out to left field. Dalton Wentz steps in with a couple of no-out base runners. The switch hitter is batting right-handed against the southpaw May. Wentz in prime position. His Whitecaps are up 2-1 here in the top of 3. Big swing and a miss. It's a good pitch for May. Looks like his curveball. A lot of vertical break to it. Kind of drops off the table. A check of second, a throw home outside. May fires home. That's over the plate. 1-2. May ahead in the count against Dalton Wentz. Wentz drove in 1 of 2 runs last night. He was 1 for 4. Here comes the 1-2. That's low. Moved Tilly off his spot. Last night, Brewster actually had the lead. Going into the top of the 6th, the Mariners tied it up 2-2. Then you went to the 7th inning, and boom, 8 runs. Mariners put up quite the crooked number in that frame.
That will help you win a ball game.
Sure did that night. The Mariners 8-6-3 on the season now. They blanked Cotuit the 2 times they saw the Kettleers. That's rocked out to left field, but a diving catch made by Andrew Wiggins. He came in a little closer on that one, Chris.
Well, it paid off for him. He got a great jump on that baseball. And we'll have to see how this is now ruled. Home plate umpire Joe Gravina just said that there was a pitch clock violation.
Called out well after the play was done. Wow, and they gift. So Wentz re-enters the box. It's a 3-2 count, so they give him a ball on that pitch that he lifted into left field. So Wiggins' catch goes all for naught. So May must have fired after the clock hit 0. But you got to catch that earlier.
And that was after Wiggins had already made the catch. I mean, Wentz was already towards the dugout. Had to pull him back out.
So now, instead of 1 down with 2 on, it's no one out, 2 on. Lifted high into foul territory. Sanderson gave it a look, but it's out of play. So 3-2 count. And now May's got to work even farther against the tough out Wentz.
Gavin Jones currently warming up in the bullpen for the Kettleers.
That's one of the most recent arrivals on the team. Swing and a miss. A much-needed strikeout for Ian May. He does it his own way.
It's his first strikeout of the afternoon. Coming at a very big time. 2 on, no out. Able to buckle down after that pitch clock violation.
Ian May doing a job in a tough count against a tough hitter, Dalton Wentz. Still manages to get out number 1 against him. First pitch to Carson Curse is tapped right in front of the mound. May pumped, fired to first, and he's there in time. Bang, bang, play at first. Man, we've seen a lot of those here at Lowell. This one goes the way of the runner.
We certainly have a lot of close plays over at first. And now with the bases loaded, only 1 out, this looks like it will be the end of the road for Ian May.
Out comes Tim O'Connor to the mound to meet Ian May. He's holding the glove in his left hand. And there goes the ball. His day is done. He got through 2 1/3, and he inherits all 3 base runners. We'll give you more on Gavin Jones, the newcomer, here soon on Cape League TV.
When we see our patient, our philosophy is to not just take care of the isolated pathology or problem that they're here for. We look at the care of a patient as the whole patient, how they hold hands with a spouse or partner, how they engage with their children or grandchildren. These are important things in the equation of how we decide optimal treatment for patients, whether that's non-operative or operative intervention. Every patient gets treated as a family member or as a pro athlete in our mind. We provide concierge level of care. That's how we want it done for our own, and that's what we continue to do here in the greater Boston area.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
New pitcher is actually Lucas Perko. A little number mismatch. So Perko's got 46 on his back. Jones 35. That pitch just hit Tilly in the face mask. He's going to have to take a second on a warm-up toss. And yeah, Perko, this is his first time out here this summer, so getting all the jitters out.
Perko, a returning Kettleer, pitched in limited innings.
So 6 hits allowed by Ian May. His day is done. Lucas Perko, his first appearance of the summer, comes probably a little earlier than he anticipated, but the Texas Tech Red Raider is ready to provide probably a handful of innings out of the bullpen. Imagine that's what was expected.
Well, Perko, before he went to Texas Tech, pitched at California Baptist University in the WAC, and I actually got to see him firsthand pitch when he faced off against Grand Canyon University, and he was a starting pitcher for the Lancers, and he was spinning phenomenal stuff that season. He went 6 innings against GCU, and I watched him, and he blanked the Antelopes. So he's really got good stuff. His numbers did take a bit of a hit when he went to Texas Tech, but that's expected when you go join a new team in a new conference. But Perko has demonstrated some great control upon the mound.
And Perko was more of a swingman with the Red Raiders. Got some midweek starts here and there, but 18 appearances, only 4 times getting the ball to start. 36 innings pitched as compared to over 70 with Cal Baptist, where he was second team All-WAC and earned all freshman second team honors given by D1 Baseball. So the stuff is certainly there for Perko. 4-pitch arsenal, low 90s fastball, changeup, a curveball in the 70s, and a low 80s slider. So 3 breaking pitches in his toolbox. See what he's got here in summer number 2 on Cape. 5.40 ERA and 5 games pitched in, 10 innings with the Kets last summer. Punched out 15 guys. His first matchup will be against Ryan Martin, who went yard off of Ian May last inning. Martin from another Baptist school, Dallas. Doesn't look like he played this year, though. Got a lot of action early this summer with the Holly Springs Salamanders of the Coastal Plain League. Started his career as a JUCO guy. Georgia Highlands College was where he chose to go. Now at the Division I level, he hit .350 at Highlands. One of a lot of JUCO guys who has shown the ability to make the turn to the next level. Still has to do it at school, but he's certainly shown it over the summer. That's become a big pipeline in Division I baseball. A lot of coaches are looking to JUCO guys rather than high school seniors in their recruiting. And Martin is one of those guys. He's batting with the bases loaded with 1 down. Lucas Perko not inheriting a favorable situation. Here comes his 0-2, gets a swing and a miss. Lucas Perko, 1-2-3, a strikeout to his first batter.
To come out of the bullpen in that situation with runners on every station and to not be afraid to challenge the hitter, Ryan Martin, who already has a home run today, shows a good bit of confidence up there.
Now there's a force at every base for Drew Rogers stepping in, and he singled last time, but to go out against the guy who homered off the last guy who was out there for your team is pretty admirable. 3 pitches, all he needed. Pretty impressive. Perko is locked into a 1-0 count with Drew Rogers. The catcher went 2 for 4 last time he played. That was on the 2nd against Chatham. Rope towards the third baseman on a line. Perko gets out of a bases-loaded jam. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd, and the score remains 2-1. Brewster's up. But before that, we will go to the 3rd member of our team, Brooke Kilgore.
Hey guys, sorry, I'm a little covered in dog fur at the moment. I just met the cutest golden retriever, but we'll get back to that in a little bit. Here tonight is a special event for the community. The Cotuit Center for the Arts has brought their personal school bus here to help kids celebrate the magic of the baseball season while also helping them unlock their creative side. Kids can pull on up to the school bus, craft their own bracelets, try coloring in their own school bus actually, and have a lot of fun. I spoke with their director of Outreach and Community and Inclusion, Melissa Kenny, who told me all about the program. They actually just bought that bus 3 years ago from a community member who refurbished it. So when kids walk on, they may be expecting a trip to school, but they have a chance to open their creative sides. Back to you guys up in the box.
Thank you, Brooke. We'll go back to a quick break before we're back for the bottom of the 3rd here. 2-1 Brewster.
Hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
When we see our patient, our philosophy is to not just take care of the isolated pathology or problem that they're here for. We look at the care of a patient as the whole patient, how they hold hands with a spouse or partner, how they engage with their children or grandchildren. These are important things in the equation of how we decide optimal treatment for patients, whether that's non-operative or operative intervention. Every patient gets treated as a family member or as a pro athlete in our mind. We provide concierge level of care. That's how we want it done for our own, and that's what we continue to do here in the greater Boston area.
Caden Bogenpole started off this inning with a sharp ground ball to first. One down quickly. Trevor Hansen working efficiently. His Whitecaps are up 2-1. And wow, Lucas Perko got himself out of quite the jam in the top half of this frame. Came in with bases loaded. Struck out the first batter he saw on 3 pitches. And then got a hard liner straight to Camden Johnson to retire the side. First pitch to Ryan Farber's a ball. Near the top half of the Kettleers in batting average, he's hitting .297. Had his first homer right here a couple nights ago against Falmouth. Tied the game late and set up that walk-off hit for Jaron Advincula an inning later.
It was some great late inning baseball being played by the Kettleers. Typically seeing those offensive outbursts in the beginning of a game or in the middle third of a game. That one was really well put together towards the end.
Chasing it down in foul territory and couldn't quite get to it. That was Lawson who gave chase for that foul ball. It's 1-2. Ryan Farber, 748 OPS this summer. He's 0 for 1 today. Flew out to right back in the first. Left side of the infield returns to their spots for Brewster. 2-1 ball game. Brewster up. Here in another early evening game of baseball. Only one other game is in play right now. Chatham and Harwich scoreless in the bottom of 2. Wiggins due up after Farber. Here comes the 2-2 off the end of the bat foul. Farber committed to Auburn, going from Texas State. Once a Bobcat, always a Bobcat.
Is that what they say?
Something like that. That was my elementary school, the Bobcats. They would say that. Hit hard over the shortstop's head. Dropped in for a base hit. Ryan Farber, his first knock of the day.
Farber's had a good season. He's been delivering when Cotuit needs it. And no matter where he's hitting in the lineup, he'll typically be within the first 4 spots in the lineup card. And every time he plays, it's great to see him have great contact from both sides of the plate.
And he's struggled from the left side, so it's good to see him get knocks from over there. He's swung it much better from the right side of the plate so far this year. A true lefty, Andrew Wiggins steps in. First pitch ball to him. Bats with a runner on with 1 down. Jack Natilli due up after him. Wiggins worked 3 walks last game against Falmouth. Grounded into a double play back in the first to end that inning. Wiggins in the portal out of Indiana, still searching for a home. Lifts one into left center field, tailing back on it. That's towards the wall. Ragsdale in to grab it. Chugging towards third is Farber. He gets the wave. Wiggins is into second. Farber coming home. And a 1-out RBI double. Andrew Wiggins ties this game up.
That ball was laced beautifully into left center field, and it just kept trickling towards the wall. And by the time Ragsdale got to it at the base of the wall, Farber was near around third.
Andrew Wiggins put him in the cleanup spot every day, man. Hit a grand slam a few days ago against YD, or that was Hyannis, and comes in and rips a double to the left field wall, and he hasn't really shown the power stroke until recently since he's been batting 5th or 4th in the lineup.
Just took some time to harness it.
All tied up at 2. Jack Natilli watches a strike. And Drew Wiggins, his first double of the summer, brought home Ryan Farber. Went first to home. That ball sat in the air for a long time. For a second, I thought that was getting down maybe middle of the gap and Ragsdale could cut it off, but no, sailed right over his head, all the way to the wall. Some carry out there, wind blowing in that direction. But Wiggins, he put a great swing on it.
He really did, and that was opposite field for him.
Righty. Jack Natilli at the dish. Struck out swinging his first time up. And they send him a ball. Just in case Rogers tagged him until he nearly broke the plane on that low curveball. Jack Natilli is ready. Runner on second with one down. Wiggins dancing inside, ball 2. Natilli started to turn a corner last week. Had a 2-hit game, then hit his first double. A lot of hard hit balls as that's thrown back to second, not in time. Great attempt at a tag by Wentz, but Wiggins just too quick back to the bag.
Oh, Wentz did a good job of even getting that baseball. It looked like it was on a one-way ticket out towards center field, but Wentz able to just reach out, full extension and spirit.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Natilli, 1 down in the frame. Swing and a miss.
It's that same curveball inside. Just didn't even break towards the plate. Natilli down on strikes for the second time today, and those are the only 2 strikeouts that Hansen has got.
Both swinging. Here's Camden Johnson. He reached on an infield single, created conflict between the first baseman and the pitcher. Got to Michael Anderson, and he thought he could outrun Johnson to the bag, but boy, he was wrong. Wiggins remains at second for Johnson, who socked that one straight into the ground. 0-1. Cotuit 5 hits, Brewster 6 hits. Bats are hot early in this one. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Infield, a slight shift to pull for Johnson. Here comes the 0-1. Sawed off, went foul. Back into this great crowd here at Lowell Park. Staying strong through a long first few innings. We're an hour deep into this game.
I'm not one to make many predictions, Connor, but if this game keeps going at this pace, we might see our first, what do we call them, dark outs?
We already had one.
Well, did that end in the 8th? It did.
Tapper towards third, gloved and fired to first in time. Out number 3 recorded by Brendan Lawson. Kettleers tie it up, 2-2, going to the top of the 4th here on Cape League TV.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team.
Safe.
The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Top of 4 at Lowell Park. Lucas Perko out for his first full frame of action in the Kettleers uniform this summer. This is back-to-back Kettleers returning pitchers, Ian May and now Lucas Perko.
Familiar faces up on the mound, you could say. Both of them not putting in a ton of innings for Cotuit last summer, but to just have that familiarity, you're in a place that you already know, helps out a lot.
Perko pitches against Colton Coates, Michael Anderson, and Josiah Ragsdale, 8-9-1 in the Caps order. Always a big fan of the Brewster jerseys. They've got the teal on the navy and the home jerseys, and on the road, the navy on teal.
Numbers are gradient as well, the lettering. Very clean look.
Kind of reminds you of the Coastal Carolina uniforms. The Chanticleers making it all the way to the College World Series championship against LSU this year. That was a fun run to follow. Don't think we've run into any Chanticleers here yet. Here's the 1-0. 2-0 count. Perko facing off against Coates, who grounded out his first time up. He went 1 for 3 in his last game on the third against Harwich. Sends one high in the air out to left center. Charging for it is the left fielder, Andrew Wiggins. One down.
Wiggins can cover a lot of ground no matter where he plays in the outfield. Plenty of speed. We have seen him in left, center, and right all this season. And every game that he plays, we see a great ranging catch from him.
Covers a lot of ground in left. Here's Michael Anderson. Perko wasted no time getting into his motion. That's sent high into right field by the foul line. 2 down. Easton Winfield retires Anderson.
Good start here from Perko. Comes into this ball game. He's retired the first 4 Whitecaps he's faced.
It's been efficient. Go back to the top of the order. Josiah Ragsdale. A rare 0 for 2 start for him. He's hitting .404 coming into this game. So not a guy who's usually putting up a couple donuts in those first few at-bats.
He's all the way down to hitting .388 on the year now.
So low. Wow. He's the contact king this summer to this point. Ragsdale batting with no one on, 2 outs. Taps one towards first. Sanderson flips to the pitcher, and Perko beat out Ragsdale, a 1-2-3 frame in Perko's first full inning. We'll take you to the bottom of the 4th here in a moment here on Cape League TV as Luke Matthews, Case Sanderson, and Easton Winfield are all up to bat 7 through 9 for the Cats.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they are ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. so you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team.
Safe.
The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Matthews, Sanderson, Winfield all due up for the Kettleers, facing off against Trevor Hansen, who's entering his fourth inning of work. 7, 8, and 9 for the Kets due up.
Looking to jump ahead of the Whitecaps, who got a 2-0 lead early in this game. Since then, Kettleers able to plate runs in back-to-back frames.
Luke Matthews reached on a Cal Fisher error his first time up. Watched a strike on the outer corner. Huge gap up the middle for Matthews to hit through. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Chased on that low breaking pitch, and that's what really has transformed Trevor Hansen's mechanics. Went from an ERA over 5 to a 3.30 and 20 more innings his sophomore year. In a good conference, the Big West gets a swing and a miss, and Hansen, his third strikeout of the day. This one on Matthews.
You're talking about just the vast improvements he has made throughout his collegiate career. A lot of that just fine-tuning his pitches.
Now going from having to rely on the curveball and the changeup to make the fastball look better, to not having to rely on those as, I guess, pitches you want to work off of. They can stand alone a little more now, and hitters have to guess a little bit more. Now you're not throwing the fastball as much to set up the curveball. Your pitches are just good enough to play on their own, and you don't have to throw a perfect strike every time with it. Your stuff just plays that well at this point if you're Hansen. And that's got to be such a comforting feeling for a pitcher when your stuff gets to a point where you don't have to be pinpoint accurate every time. You hear a lot of guys say just throw it around the zone and let the ability of your pitch do the rest. I think you see that with a lot of the best in the MLB. Comes the 1-2 from Hansen. High fastball. I think a prime example of that's Emmanuel Clase, the closer for the Cleveland Guardians. He's having an up and down season this year, but he's always had an ERA around 1-2 as a closer, and he's got a 100-mile-an-hour cutter, and he kind of just rips it in there, and no matter where it is, guys just can't barrel it up consistently. 3-2 count to Case Sanderson, looking for his first hit of the day.
Oh, kind of off to your own point, there's a quote from Sandy Koufax, former LA Dodger pitcher. And the quote was, he said, "I became a good pitcher when I stopped trying to make them miss the ball and started trying to make them hit it." Talks a lot about, instead of you see guys just trying to rely on that swing and miss stuff outside part of the zone, we've seen, especially today from Hansen, on his strikeouts, he's just challenging the batters to hit the ball.
He has allowed 5 hits, but conversely, he's only allowed 1 run and struck out 3. I should say 2 at this point after Andrew Wiggins' RBI double last frame. Case Anderson walked after working a full count. Now it's Easton Winfield. He drove in Camden Johnson and on an RBI infield single legged out a high tapper. Hansen's got no one count. Fires home. That's a strike. Brewster yesterday, their 10-2 loss against Harwich was the first time they've been beat on Independence Day since 2019. Shout out to the guys over at Brewster, Max Gifford, Sam Maurice, for putting together some really good game notes that we've been looking off of.
Did you just read Cappy's no cap stat of the day?
I may have. Cappy's always got it. Lifted into left field, sinking a base hit for Easton Winfield. 2 for 2 from the 9 spot.
Oh, Winfield's been a welcome return to the lineup card for the Kettleers. Hasn't seen some starting slots in a few games, and now making an instant impact when he gets added back in.
Turn over the lineup card to Jaron Advincula. The second baseman batting left-handed with 2 runners on, 1 down. Real favorable spot. Advincula has reached once on a walk back in the first. Grounded out to first. Play made unassisted by Anderson. Sanderson's on second. Winfield on first. A mound meeting. Brian Del Rosso comes out for this one with his pitcher, Trevor Hansen. Just them and the catcher, Drew Rogers. A short one, not a pitching change meeting, but a settle down meeting, more so. There are a couple arms over in the pen. Based on the throwing motion in the pen, I want to say that's Hayden LeFew over there. That would mark 3 for 3 appearances against Cotuit.
Well, he's had a solid summer. Seen him quite a bit. He maintains the most innings pitched on this Whitecaps roster with 13 1/3. He struck out 16 in those 13-ish innings.
Meeting has concluded. Advincula readies to enter the box. On deck, Caden Bogenpool. We've confirmed that is Hayden LeFew. He's gone 3 and 4 innings in each of his outings against the Cats. That's lifted into left field, a base hit. Chugging around third is Sanderson. He's coming home. Cats lead 3-2 after the throw is late to third. Jared Advincula, an RBI single.
Advincula came into this game on a 3-game hit streak. He's now extended it to 4, and in such a big way. That puts the Cats up for the first time today. And Advincula, who normally doesn't see a whole lot of RBI opportunities, he's made the most of them. That's his 5th RBI on the summer.
It's a turning point in this game here in the middle innings. Bottom of the 4th in a bigger mound meeting with the whole infield this time. I think we might see LeFew exit the bullpen here in a moment, and there's the call. 3-2, Cotuit leads on a Jaron Advincula RBI single. Call to the bullpen for Brewster. Hayden LeFew incoming. We'll go to a quick break here on Cape League TV. Trevor Hansen's day is done after 3 1/3. In comes Hayden LeFew, the 5-pitch lefty now at Texas. This guy has quite the arsenal for an arm out of the pen. Fastball, curve change, cutter, sinker. And he's gone a total of 7 innings against the Kettleers this summer. 4 last time out on the 29th of June. 5 hits, 1 run, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and he got the win.
He's been solid against the Kettleers, especially this summer. I mean, he's been solid against any team that he's faced. The first time he played against Cotuit, he came in to finish out that game. And, I mean, he's just been solid all season long. This will be his 6th appearance through the 13 1/3 innings pitched, like we mentioned. Only 11 hits, only 3 earned runs thrown as well.
He's been good. Known to work quickly on the mound. His first opponent, Caden Bogenpole. Runners on the corners. High ball 1. Sanderson scored on a Jaron Advincula single. Easton Winfield's on third. Advincula on first. No runner at second. Winfield about double play depth. Bogenpole is 1 for 2 today with a single. 3-2 ball game. Cotuit here in the bottom of 4. Ropes that one through the hole. That'll bring home Winfield. 4-2 Ketts. Advincula screaming around second, and he dives into third safely. Throw wasn't in time. Kettleers just keep him coming.
When it rains, it pours, and for Cotuit, scoring crooked numbers in innings where it's more than a run, that's been a more common sight, especially within the past week and a half. Kettleers, when the hits get rolling and there's trouble on the base pass, the Kets have been able to capitalize, and that's in large part to a better approach with runners in scoring position for the team.
Looked like Bogenpole kept it pretty simple there. Just pulling it through the right side on the ground. There was a big hole, and he took advantage. So now it's Ryan Farber batting from his best side, the right side, against Hayden LeFew. That run was tabbed to Hansen's score line. His official line is not done with Advincula on third. First pitch strike to Farber. That looping curveball just sailed in. Farber re-enters. LeFew fires. High. Runners on the corner. Bogenpole on first. Advincula on third. 1-1 count with 1 down here in the bottom of 4. LeFew. Rope towards short. Gloved by Fisher to second. Back to first. In time. Gets the double play. But it's too late. The Kettleers scored 2. They're up 4-2, entering the top half of the 5th. Solid advantage for the pitcher, Lucas Perko, coming back out in the top. Up next.
Dream it. If you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Perko threw an inning in 2/3, now pitches with a Kettleers lead. They're up 4-2 on Brewster entering the top half of the 5th. Cal Fisher, Brendan Lawson, Dalton Wentz due up for the Caps.
Well, today's matchup has been a bit of a game of runs, you could call it. Brewster got out to a 2-0 lead early. They played a 2 in the top of the second, and then Cotuit just able to chip away, scored 1 in the second and the third to even things up, and then boom, another 2-run inning. This one off the bat of the Kettleers. They're up by 2 now.
Here comes Cal Fisher. He's 1 for 2. Singled last time up. That was back in the third inning where things got real scary for Ian May. He got taken out of the game, but Lucas Perko did a job. Bouncer towards third. The shortstop got it. Matthews made the throw over. What a play backing up Johnson by Matthews.
For a second, it looked like Johnson got a glove on it, and it actually worked out better for the Kettleers that he didn't. The way that Johnson was going down to the dirt, it would have been very hard to make a transition and throw in time to retire Fisher. Instead, it ended up in Matthews' glove, and he was able to make the play.
Shortstop to shortstop for the putout. Brendan Lawson steps in. Also a single last time up. Perko working quickly, a first pitch ball. Has still yet to allow a base runner through 2 complete after that out. Perko. Strike 1. It's been nothing short of great so far out of the pen.
First start for first appearance of the summer.
Curveball was a little high. 2-1 to Lawson. Brendan Lawson, the Florida Gator, 6'3", 215 pounds, laces that one high and deep into right center field. Bogenpole jumps, cannot get it. Bounced off the wall. That was a tough play to make. A home run for Lawson, the second long ball of the day for the Caps.
Both of them have been to the deeper part of the outfield. One to left center, one to right center. These Brewster Whitecaps, when getting the home runs, they're timing up the baseball really well.
Lawson's second homer of the summer. In steps Dalton Wentz. Kettleers still hold on to the lead, 4-3. After a solo blast, Perko fires. Shot behind Wentz.
Coming into this ball game, the Kettleers and the Whitecaps were tied for last in the Cape League in home runs, each team with only 5 on the season. Brewster's done a good job today getting the long ball.
Hard grounder to second, and Vincula makes the play. 2 down. Lawson's homered and Ryan Martin's homered. Good day at the plate for Brewster despite the 1-run deficit. Here's Carson Kurtz. He's reached each time up today. A walk and a single. 6'1", 200-pound sophomore from Marietta, Georgia. Stayed in state at Georgia Tech. Just a bit high. To account for Perko to Curse. Has shown the ability to play short and third. Sun coming down just a touch. Shadows descending on the left side of the infield. Perko the 3-0. That's a strike. Here comes the 3-1. That's high. Ball 4. First walk issued by Lucas Perko.
Only the second of the day from Kettleers pitching altogether. Both May and Perko have done a good job of keeping that command in the strike zone.
Sure have. Perko's only blemish is that solo shot, and now a walk. Faces off against Ryan Martin, the right-handed swinging right fielder. He's shown that you can't miss to him. Hit a homer today already. Hard chopper to third, backed up on Johnson's throw to first is in time. Side retired. Brewster puts one more on, but Cotuit still leads 4-3. I'll give the ball up to Chris Albright here in the booth for the rest of this ball game, going into the bottom of the fifth.
When we see our patient, our philosophy is to not just take care of the isolated pathology or problem that they're here for. We look at the care of a patient as the whole patient, how they hold hands with a spouse or partner, how they engage with their children or grandchildren. These are important things in the equation of how we decide optimal treatment for patients, whether that's non-operative or operative intervention. Every patient gets treated as a family member or as a pro athlete in our mind. We provide concierge level of care. That's how we want it done for our own, and that's what we continue to do here in the greater Boston area.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Hayden LeFew steps in for his second inning of work. 3-4 ball game. Cotuit is up on Brewster. LeFew will face off against Wiggins, Natili, and Johnson.
Thought you handed off the reins.
Oh my gosh. Jeez. Sorry, Chris.
Oh, man. I got confused for a second. I had to think back. Oh, you just...
I think that's the first time that's happened all season. Yeah. Sorry, Chris. This is your show.
Oh, jeez. It'll be Wiggins, Natili, and Johnson up for the Cats. Wiggins fouls it away. Oh, man. Caught us both off guard. Holy cow. Wiggins today is 1 for 2. Had an RBI double his last plate appearance. That evened up the ball game at 2 apiece. I mean, Wiggins has had a good summer. He's really finding his form as time has gone on. 1 and 2 the count on him. Struggled a little bit when he first faced Brewster. He had an 0 for 4 day with a pair of strikeouts. But since then, he's really been able to work the walks. I mean, he is leaps and bounds above other Kettleers in that department. Full count here on Wiggins. He has 15 walks on the summer, 16 strikeouts. Those 15 walks are a Ket's team high. The next closest man, Stevens, has 9. Payoff pitch, swung on, elevated towards left field. Going back is Curse. He's ranging back, and he makes the catch on the run. 1 away.
What a grab out there in left by Curse. Just chased that one down and threw the glove out there, and the ball almost found the glove.
Have to check Curse's mitt for a magnet. Just able to throw his hand up in the air and track it down. Natili up, he's 0 for 2. He's been struck out both times. Natili now 14 strikeouts on the summer. Does have 8 hits. He's hitting around $160. Down in this count now, 0-2. The Kettleers as a team, won't quite say plagued, but it's been a thorn in their side, the strikeout numbers. 0-2. just a bit inside.
And you look at them team-wide strikeouts at the plate. They're starting to trend towards the middle bottom of the Cape. 158 team strikeouts.
On a line, down the left field line. It'll trickle towards the corner, heading for 2. And the throw gets away from the second baseman, so Natili's safe there. A very just overall bit of a wonky finish to that double down the line.
I was going to say, I thought if that throw got there, Natili would have been dead to rights, but the throw skipped away, and Natili's in with 2.
One on, one out for Camden Johnson. Singled his first time up. He grounded out in his second plate appearance. In terms of Kettleers that have had success against Brewster this season, Johnson, number 1 on the list. The throw hits the mask of Rogers and kicks away. Natili will take third base. In the 2 games that the Kets faced off against the Whitecaps earlier, Johnson went 3 for 8 in those games, scored a run, had a walk and a stolen base as well. The only Kettleer with more than 2 hits against the Whitecaps. He had hit number 4 earlier today. Johnson also knows how to lay down a good bunt. Can place it down either line depending on where you need it. Natili's at third. And the count is 1-2 on Johnson. Infield in, here's the pitch. Count now even 2-2. Outfield pinched in as well. Johnson knows how to get those extra base hits. He leads the Kets in doubles as well. 2-2. Down the line again, fair ball. That will score Natili. Johnson will stay put at first. An RBI single, Kets up 5-3.
That's all you need to do. Keep it simple. Shoot it down the third base line, and that third baseman over there, Lawson, he was playing a little bit too far off the bag to even have a chance at a play on that ball. Big insurance run for the Kets.
The Kettleers had a 4-2 lead going into the 5th inning, and then Brendan Lawson hit a mammoth blast to center to get the Whitecaps within 1. First base umpire Mike Rabideau says that Hayden LeFew balked on the pickoff attempt over to first, so Johnson will advance a bag.
How about that? Second straight game here, we've seen a balk.
On a pickoff move. The catcher, Drew Rogers, will go out there to talk things over with Hayden LeFew, who is scuffling around some trouble here against the Kettleers. This is the 3rd time he's faced the Kets, and it seems that this has been the appearance that the Kettleers have gotten his number.
I think so. They got him the first time, but they only scored 2 runs off him, and he ended up with the loss, but this time he's really getting hit around.
From the get-go as well, LeFew has faced 5 Kettleers. Luke Matthews, who's up to bat, will be his 6th. And out of those 5 batters, he's surrendered 3 hits. Was able to get Ryan Farber to ground into a double play to end the 4th. That's been the bright spot of his line so far today. 0-1. Matthews takes, it's a strike. Down in this count, 0-2. Matthews reached via an error in the 2nd. He struck out swinging in the 4th. 1-2. Matthews, with a very small sample size, came into this game hitting 300. 3 hits and 10 at-bats. One of those a triple. It was the first pitch he saw as a Kettleer this summer. 1-2. Ripped in the air towards left field. On a line to Kersh's glove. He had to come in and make that catch. Now 2 away.
Good swing by Matthews, better positioning and out and left by Kersh.
Left side of the infield and outfield has been busy this inning. Wiggins flew out to left. Matthews flew out to left. And then the 2 hits that the Kettleers have gotten this inning both went down the line. With 2 away, up will step Case Sanderson, the 8-hole hitter for the Kettleers. LeFew checks, now delivers. Taken, strike 1. Sanderson just wrapped up his year as a Cornhusker, sporting some red batting gloves. 0-1. Taken again, another strike. This summer, Sanderson has 9 hits. He has 5 RBIs, aided by some sacrifice flies as well. 0-2. Off the end of the bat, Sanderson able to stay alive. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. LeFew trying to keep the damage at just 1 run this inning. Kettleers are already up to 10 hits on the afternoon. LeFew ready. The 0-2 on its way. And they're called strike 3. A strikeout looking to end the inning from Hayden LeFew. Not before the Kettleers are able to tack on another run. The Kets are up 5-3. We'll take a break here. You're watching Cape League Baseball on Cape League TV.
Hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
When we see our patient, our philosophy is to not just take care of the isolated pathology or problem that they're here for. We look at the care of a patient as the whole patient, how they hold hands with a spouse or partner, how they engage with their children or grandchildren. These are important things in the equation of how we decide optimal treatment for patients, whether that's non-operative or operative intervention. Every patient gets treated as a family member or as a pro athlete in our mind. We provide concierge level of care. That's how we want it done for our own, and that's what we continue to do here in the greater Boston area.
Top of 6, Kettleers up 5-3. Lucas Perko remains out on the bump for Cotuit. He's had a good start to his day. Came in for relief in the top of the 3rd, was able to retire 2 straight with the bases loaded. His only blemish today, gave up a solo shot to loss in this past frame. He's looking to buckle down here against the bottom 3rd of Brewster's lineup. Drew Rogers, Colton Coates, and Michael Anderson. Rogers and Anderson each with a hit today. First pitch ball thrown to Drew Rogers. He singled right after Ryan Martin had a 2-run shot in the 2nd. Unable to come around to score. Fouled away. It was up and at the hands. Rogers couldn't get that bat out of the way in time. Shadows creeping across the infield here at Lowell Park. It's 6:48, nearly 2 hours post first pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now. Do we know what time sun sets here today?
Let's take a look. I'll get back to you in a moment. Looks like 8:19.
8:19. So about an hour and a half away. And we still have a third of the game to go. 1-2. Each of the two Cotuit pitchers today has only thrown one strikeout, a total of 2, paired with 2 walks. 2-2. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Third strikeout of the day from Cotuit pitching, the second from Lucas Perko. The Kettleers have been relying a lot on the groundouts, the flyouts. With that, some contact has been given up, 2 home runs, but now Perko able to utilize the strikeout. And he's finding the zone now. Perko started his collegiate career at California Baptist, and as a freshman, became a near every weekend starting pitcher. He made his collegiate debut on opening day. Went on to throw 72 2/3 innings his freshman season. 1-1. On the ground, right side, Avincula ranging to his right, and will make the throw in time, 2 away.
Perko just continuing to shove over 3 innings out of the pen so far, and it's still just that homer and walk. Other than that, he's been doing a great job pounding the zone, staying up in counts, and it helps that he moves so quickly on the mound, too. It seems to be speeding up these Brewster batters.
Michael Anderson, the 9-hole hitter, up for Brewster. He's 1 for 2 today. Had a single his first time up. Swing and a miss. While at California Baptist, Perko was named to the all-WAC second team as a true freshman. On the ground, foul. Past third base. He was one of the best arms for the Lancers as well. Led the team with 76 strikeouts, averaged over a strikeout per inning. Not quite those numbers here today. 0-2. Just a bit low. But he's been consistently around the zone. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off and away. Count will stay put. Perko has thrown 37 pitches, 22 of those for strikes. One-two. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in the inning from Lucas Perko. It's a 3-up, 3-down. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th here at Lowell Park. Ket's still up over the Whitecaps. Happy birthday to Max Pino, one of the interns here for the Kettleers. If you look behind home plate, you can see there's a white C. That is the Cotuit Kettleers logo. He painted that. A man of many talents, a t-shirt toss, and an artist.
And now with stars around the side, too. At first, it was just the Gothic C, but I like the extra touches.
Good old Americana feel. Still, 4th of July festivities around the Cape. Easton Winfield up for the Kets. Bouncing ball up the middle. Fielded by Wentz. And Winfield beats it out. Hustle play from Easton Winfield. Wins him an infield single. He is now 3 for 3 today.
Just legging stuff out. First, it was the bouncer that he got to first on, drove in a run. Then he singled back in the 4th, getting it done again in the 6th. His return to the lineup has been a great one.
Leadoff man aboard for the Kettleers, who have scored in the past 4 innings. Really opened this game up over the Whitecaps. Up 3-5. Kettleers 5 runs on 11 hits now. Brewster 3 runs on 7 hits. Each team with an error apiece. Inside for Avincula, who had an RBI single his last plate appearance. That brought in Case Sanderson. Avincula looking for another multi-hit game this summer. He's up in the count 3-0. LeFew looking to buckle down. Now out for his 3rd inning of work. Three and 1. Mentioned that it's still 4th of July festivities here. I think Cotuit, the village, is having their fireworks show tonight. So some fireworks after this game. Lined up the middle. Base hit. Winfield, big turnaround second, but he'll stay put. Avincula with another multi-hit game this summer.
He's been all over it today. Walked his first time up, then the lone blemish, that ground out in the 2nd. Hard single up the middle, and another hard single up the middle. That's just how he does it. Great job at driving the ball right back where it came from.
There was a period where Avincula wasn't just on a hit streak. He was on a multi-hit streak, you could call it, where he was having a streak of games recording multiple hits in it. First pitch swinging is Caden Bogenpole. He's 2 for 3 today. Also had an RBI single his last plate appearance. 2 on, none out. LeFew trying to work through this top part of the Kettleers lineup. Infield is shaded to their lefts. Kyle Fisher, the shortstop, pinched in towards the second base bag. Shadows creeping across that base. 0-2. Low and away. Coming into this game, LeFew led the Whitecaps in innings pitched. Led the Whitecaps in strikeouts. 1-2. On the ground, right side. Anderson bobbles it, and Bogenpole will be safe. Bases are loaded.
Second error of the game for Brewster, and this just puts Cotuit in so much more of a favorable situation. Runners at all stations, no outs.
Bring up Ryan Farber, who had his first home run as a Kettleer just 2 days ago when the Kets beat the Commodores. Farber launched a solo shot over the right field fence. He's hitting from the right-handed side of the plate here. Takes a first pitch strike, top part of the zone. Winfield is on third. Avincula is on second. Bogenpole is on first. Brewster tucks the corners in on the infield. 0-1. Chopped foul behind the plate. Farber has had a solid summer for the Kettleers. Currently fighting with Jared Avincula on who leads the team in hits. Right now they're evened up, 0-2. Farber takes a ball just a bit upstairs. Both Farber and Avincula at 20. 1-2. Fouled off. We'll do it again. Farber leads the Kettleers in runs. He's come around to score 10 times this season. He also leads the Kettleers in RBIs. Opportunities here with the bases juiced, none out. Farber stays alive. Plenty of fans still around. We've hit 7 o'clock here in the 6th inning. All around the outfield. Picture perfect scene. 1-2. High and tight to Farber. Plenty of fans down the lines and lawn chairs. Beautiful night. 72 degrees just off Main Street in Cotuit. 2-2. Farber able to work this count high. Also working the pitch count up for LeFew. He's creeping towards 50 on the evening. Currently sitting at 47. This will be the eighth pitch of this at-bat. 2-2. On the ground, past the glove of Lawson. 1 run will score. Everyone else moves station to station. Kettleers up by 3 over Brewster now, 6-3.
And Hayden LeFew has just been getting smacked around. That's hit number 7 allowed by him. Ryan Farber just doing a great job to keep the line moving, and the Kettleers up to 14 hits on the day now. Look at that.
Farber extends his lead in RBIs. That was his 9th of the season. Bases remain loaded with no one out. Andrew Wiggins will dig in. He's already had a grand slam this summer. A first pitch strike to him. Wiggins 1 for 3 today. His one hit was an RBI double back in the 3rd. 0-2. LeFew now above 50 pitches. Can see an arm warming in Brewster's bullpen. Up on the mound there. 1-2. Swung on and fouled back over the press box. Looks like it'll be a righty coming out of the bullpen for Brewster. LeFew, the lefty, has been getting smacked around by a lot of lefty bats in this lineup. 1-2. Low and away.
I think one of the biggest things we can look to that's been a point of success in this game for the Kettleers, they're hitting 400 with runners in scoring position today.
Ground ball up the middle, off the mound. Wentz can't hang on to it. 1 run will score. Coming in home is Bogenpole. Everyone hits, everyone scores.
A slow roller up the middle, the second baseman Wentz, he charged for it, but just whiffed. And that brought 2 more home. Nightmare inning for the Cats, and man, Cotuit just getting it done time after time. Everybody, like you said, Chris, is hitting. This is probably the best we've seen this team look offensively. And we talked about the other game that I think we say that almost every game now, they just keep outdoing themselves.
Wiggins officially reaches via an error. Avincula and Bogenpole came around to score. Ryan Farber stands at 3rd base. Still no one out. Up to bat is Jack Natilli. And that catches a piece of Natilli. He's in pain. Natilli has been banged up this season. It's been hit by a pitch 5 times now.
He really has taken a brunt of it. Missed a couple of games after he got hit in the wrist. That was against Bourne, the first game against them. And now, like you said, lower half. And I think at this point there's a chance pinch runner comes in, but they're checking him out.
Well, earlier in this ball game, when Lucas Perko was throwing his warm-up pitches, we saw a pitch catch the piece of Natilli. Got banged up then. You got to be tough to be a catcher, and Natilli is just that. Kid's as tough as nails. He's going to remain in this ball game and trot down to first base after earning the first 90 the painful way.
Jogging it off, too. That's impressive to see. He took a real stinger, and he's staying in that ball game, and the bases are loaded again with no outs.
There will be a meeting on the mound for the Whitecaps to talk things over as the bases are loaded. And there will be a call to the bullpen for Brewster. Kettleers up 8-3. The Kets have played at 3 already here in the bottom of the 6th. We'll take a quick break, tell you about the new pitcher when we return. This is Cape League Baseball on Cape League TV. 2-1 now on Johnson.
And Jenkins can hit up to 97, 98 on the radar gun, so he's a guy you're going to have to catch the bats up with a little bit after LeFew, who usually sits 93, 94 typically.
Bases loaded, no one out, the 2-1. Broken bat, ball skipping towards second base. Wentz has it, throw to first is not in time. Farber scores. Kettleers with 4 runs here in the bottom of the 6th. The floodgates are open at Lowell Park.
And Camden Johnson, I think that's 3 infield hits, or 2 plus the single he punched down the line. Him and Easton Winfield, using their legs to their advantage, have produced some really crucial runs for the Kettleers and now have, as you said, pretty much blown this one open.
Bases still juiced. Still no one out, and Luke Matthews is up. Still searching for his first hit of the ball game. That ball skips past the catcher Rogers. Everyone will stay put.
Jenkins is very lucky Wiggins didn't go. I thought there might have been time to get down the line. Rogers was in a scamper over to get that ball. Jenkins got there maybe a bit later than you'd want if you're Brewster. But Cotuit keeping it safe with the 6-run advantage.
1-0, no one out. The pitch to Matthews, just a bit outside. Rogers having to reach across his body to spear these pitches from Matthew Jenkins. Matthews, one of 2 Kettleers without a hit today. Kets have 15 hits so far. Off the end of the bat, towards right field, sinking fast, and it's down. It will score 1 run. Here comes run number 2. Wiggins and Natilli score. Matthews with his first hit. It's a 2-run double.
It just keeps coming for Cotuit, doesn't it, Chris? Luke Matthews showing out, going the opposite way, tailing all the way towards the foul line. Nowhere near enough room for Martin to get over to that one in a timely fashion, so the Kettleers and their heads-up base run and get 2 home on a 2-bagger for Luke Matthews, who's been really impressing early on in the Cotuit uniform.
The first base coach for Cotuit, Nick Melton, has had such a busy station, you could say. He is currently wearing a shin guard, an elbow guard, a wrist guard, and carrying a couple more. Jaron Advincula went out there to get some more, and Nick Melton still has more. He's now ditching the rest of his garb to Caden Bogenpole. And he'll hold on to at least 1 elbow guard.
A lot of runners on base. You get a lot of transfers of equipment, but that's the end of Hayden LeFew's line. He finishes with 6 earned runs on 7 hits. Man.
First pitch swinging popped up high towards left field. Playing it is Curse, tagging from third, and coming in to score is Camden Johnson, and advancing to third is Luke Matthews. A sacrifice fly from Case Sanderson. Kets 12, Brewster 3.
And that's out number 1. Only the first of the inning, and you've already plated 7 in this frame. The Kettleers just keep it coming, and here comes Dean West in to join the fun.
Currently just having to write down all of this in the scorecard. To sum things up, with now Dean West, who is pinch hitting for Easton Winfield. First pitch to him, swung on and fouled away. To summarize, Cotuit has now hit through the lineup card in this inning. The first 8 batters for Cotuit this frame reached base. Of those 8, 7 have come around to score. Luke Matthews is still on third base. West shows bunt, pulls it back. the 9th hitter Cotuit brought up to the plate. Again, this is after the first 8 hitters all reached base. Sanderson couldn't get a hit, but guess what? He got a sacrifice fly. He is the only Kettleer without a hit today.
And he has that sac fly and has a walk, so even without the hit, he's been able to produce in this lineup for the Kettleers, who are just raining runs on Brewster.
And when Sanderson walked, he came around to score. So now Matthews, who's at third base, is the only Kettleer who hasn't crossed home plate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, but this is such a far cry from these first 2 games against Brewster. Each of those decided by only a couple of runs, and this time Cotuit has really seemed to figure out the Whitecaps, to say the least.
3-1. Swung on and fouled up over the press box. Count will run full. And based on the crowd's reaction, you might have to go check your car. That one went straight to the parking lot. I think we have confirmation it did catch a car. 3-2, the count on Dean West. Only 1 out, runner on third. Pitch misses low. Dean West in his first plate appearance has reached base. The Kettleers have had 9 men reach base this inning.
It's incredible. Just a torrent. It seems like Brewster just can't get out of this one, and the Kettleers just letting them pitch around him at this point. Jenkins has had a hard time finding the zone. He's 14 pitches deep, and he's only thrown 6 strikes. Just not a recipe for success, especially in this situation.
Jaron Advincula's up. Earlier this inning, he singled and came around to score. First pitch swinging. That's left center field, and that will get over the glove of Curse. Coming in to score is Matthews. Chugging into seconds, Advincula. Everyone on the Kettleers lineup has come around to score today.
Just your average second hit of the inning for Jaron Advincula, doubling home the runner Matthews. I don't think we can say much more than we haven't already said about this inning. This is just incredible. And now Cotuit ties Wareham for the most hits in a game this summer on Cape.
Ket's now 13 runs on 17 hits. 1 out here, bottom of the 6th. Advincula's on second. Dean West is on third. He wasn't even in the starting lineup, but he's getting ready to come in and score as Caden Bogenpole takes a first pitch ball. Earlier this inning, Caden Bogenpole singled and came around to score. (1-0). Count now even at 1-1. Kettleers now with 7 hits in the 6th inning. They've scored 8 runs. Swing and a miss from Bogenpole.
And with Dean West, pinch hit for Winfield a couple at-bats ago, you got to tip your cap to Winfield's job in the first few innings. 3 for 3 with an RBI in his first game back in the lineup in, 3-4 days? It's been a while.
Welcome back to the lineup card, Winfield. 1-2, popped up foul. Just a mind-boggling inning from the Kettleers. One, two. And for Brewster, it's now back-to-back games where you've given up 8 runs in a frame. Yesterday, the Whitecaps surrendered 8 runs to the Mariners in the top of the 7th. They've surrendered 8 here to the Kettleers in the bottom of the 6th. 2-2. Skips in there, and Rogers is able to keep it in front of him. Count is now full on Caden Bogenpole, looking to reach base for the 2nd time this inning. Shadows completely across the infield here at Lowell Park. This game is already 2 hours and 19 minutes in, and we're only in the 6th inning. Payoff pitch. Ripped up the middle. Base hit for Bogenpole. West will score. Avincula will follow. Everybody hits. Everybody scores.
All you can do is laugh at this point. 15 runs to 3. 18 hits now for Cotuit. 4-hit day for Caden Bogenpole. That man has had quite the start in a Cotuit uniform.
Jeez Louise. Everyone that Cotuit has sent up to bat this inning has, well, almost everyone. 99% of everyone that Cotuit has sent up to bat this inning has reached base. The only time that equation wasn't successful was Case Sanderson with a deep sacrifice fly to score a run. So that doesn't even show up as a registered at bat on the scorecard. Good night, Irene. 15-3 the score in this one. Ket's 18 hits to Brewster's 7. Farber had an RBI single his first time up this inning. If memory serves me right, that was from the right side of the plate. He's now hitting from the left-handed side and might need to be fact-checked.
No, that's right. He faced against the lefty LeFew.
Fouls this one back to the screen. Count now 2-1. So Farber trying to record a hit from both sides of the plate in the same inning. That doesn't happen all that frequently, does it?
No.
I think I'm more excited to see that now than anything.
He's already got 2 hits today.
2-1, 1 away. Check swing. Farber went around. Count now even at 2-2.
So Farber's 2 hits makes that 5 Kettleers with multiple hits. And 4 of them have at least 3. That's Avincula and Bogenpole, who has 4. Then Cam Johnson and Easton Winfield.
Wow. 2-2. Ripped in the air towards right field. Forget about it. And an incredible inning. Holy Toledo. Ryan Farber's 2nd hit of the inning. This one from the left-handed batter's box, and it's a 2-run shot, his 2nd home run of the summer. Goodness gracious sakes alive. Ket's up 17-3.
No words at this point. No words. Ryan Farber, 3 for 5. Just an average day at the plate for a Kettleer today. At this point, everybody's eating in this order. And what is this? We are 14 batters deep into this inning, with Nolan Stevens now pinch hitting for Andrew Wiggins. This is unreal. I don't know if there's another way to put it. Ket's nearing 20 hits.
Yeah, this looks like this should be the... No, it won't be the end of the road. It looks like it's just a meeting on the mound. Jenkins getting calmed down up on the bump. Came into a very precarious situation. He came in with bases loaded, none out. So there's not much you can do in that situation.
And now he's given up 6 earned. So just tough one for Jenkins, tough one for LeFew, especially when these two shoved last time against Cotuit, and now they've given up a combined 13 runs, one of them unearned to LeFew, but everything else, Cotuit earning them, to say the least.
The hitter will be Nolan Stevens. He's a pinch hitter, looking to put 20 hits on the board for the Kettleers. Takes a first pitch strike. Yeah, we knew there'd be fireworks tonight in Cotuit. Wasn't expecting them at Lowell Park. Swing and a miss, and Stevens couldn't hold on to the bat.
Well, at this point, I feel like you're putting your ace swing out there a lot, so Stevens wanted all of that pitch and just lost the handle.
One, two. Fouled away. We'll do it again. The Kettleers came into this game averaging 3.5 runs per game, sitting dead last in the Cape League with 55 runs on the season. 1-2. Fouled away again. At the minimum, today's game will bump that number up just slightly. Though I would assume this has to be a bit of an outlier. Not often you see 17 runs on 19 hits. Two. 2-2, 1 out. Count now full. Payoff pitch on the way to Nolan Stevens. Belted! Right field! Man, oh man! Nolan Stevens! You've got to be kidding me!
It's one way to get your first extra base hit of the summer.
"20 hits, 18 runs. Nolan Stevens, a solo shot. Ain't that the truth?"
Stevens has been searching for that first extra base knock all season, and we've seen the power in batting practice. But now in full display, pimped the homer, tossed the bat. Can you blame him?
No. Jeez Louise. 18-3. Kets have played at 13 runs here in the 6th, only 1 out.
And with a mound visit, we've got a pretty cool story that's more so away from the ballpark. The players' meal after the game is coming from Surf's Up Pizza and Sandwich, and the owner, Cam, who's a guy who's been hosting players for Cotuit for a long, long time. He grew up going to the camps, and it's a full circle moment for him just getting to deliver pizzas over here. So it's cool that he's being able to give back after getting to host players for so long and following the team for so long. So, and what a game to be able to deliver to at this point. 18-3. You see the team you grew up with doing this, you'll take that.
Cotuit, a true village, classified as a village. It's such a tight-knit community, Connor. We've only been out here about a month, but everyone in Cotuit knows and loves Cotuit. Holy cow, Cotuit's gonna love that home run. Jeez Louise. A solo shot from Jack Natilli. Have a hit, have a homer.
Speechless. I have absolutely run out of space on my book. 14 runs in the inning. And what is that? That's 3 homers back to back to back.
A new pitcher coming out for the Whitecaps. Kets are up 19-3, kicking it to the 3rd member of our team. Brooke Kilgore. Brooke,
guys,
can you even can we even breathe? Oh my goodness.
I feel like I've had to take 6 deep breaths this inning because when I was going to originally talk about my stats, I've had to change my stat sheet like 6 times. First of all, as Connor mentioned earlier, Cotuit now leads the league in most hits in a single game this season with that 19 now. Oh my gosh, it was 18 last time I checked. They took over Wareham's 17 knocks in a 12-6 victory over Hyannis back on June 20th. Only one at the eye. Even K-Sips, that's what I mean. My stat sheet is has been inactive since that start. Of course, Cam Johnson, Easton Winfield, Evincula, Bogenpole, they all lead with at least 3 hits apiece. And another fun fact for you, Cotuit now leads the league with most runs in a single game so far. You're watching history happen right here. The second closest, Falmouth, 14-5 against Orleans on June 17th. And then Brewster, ironically, 14-0 versus Bourne on June 20th. So there's a lot of record breaking going on. I'm so excited to talk to Hibbs after this game and just see his reaction to some of these stats for you.
I feel like we could talk to just about every player after this game and talk with them about something. Thank you to the third member of our team, Brooke Kilgore, for summarizing just an incredible inning.
And conversely, for a pitcher, Matthew Jenkins, 8 runs, 7 hits. He got 1 out. Man, just can't even imagine what that's like. That's the dichotomy of baseball right there.
New pitcher on the bump for Brewster, Camden Wimbish, out of North Carolina. Just wrapped up playing his season of baseball at NC State. He is currently in the transfer portal. This will be appearance number 6 on his summer. He's got an ERA of .587, over 7 2/3 innings pitched. Allowed 5 earned runs, struck out 9, only walked 2.
And he's in a more favorable spot now. No runners on, 1 out, but the entire Cotuit lineup is smelling blood, so I'd say you don't want to miss on anything to anybody at this point.
Cotuit came into this game the only team in the Cape League with less than 60 runs, sitting at 59. The next lowest run total, Bourne, had 65. So now after some quick math, Cotuit is now at 78 runs on the season. That puts them, barring some other wild results around the West, first in the West Division in runs scored. And that would put them good for 3rd in the East. First pitch swinging is Camden Johnson. He fouls one. That's the first offering from Camden Winbish. Johnson is 3 for 4 today. Singled, drove in a run, and came around to score earlier this inning. (1-1) with 1 out. Plenty of fans still around. I mean, why not?
Seeing probably one of the most high-scoring games in Cotuit history at this point.
1-2. Still 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Cotuit has sent 15 men to the plate this inning. Out of those 15, 14 have come around to score. The only one who didn't drove in a run. 2-2. 1 hopper to the glove of Lawson. And Johnson's retired. 2 away.
Man. So if 2 more Cotuit batters come up. The Kettleers will have batted around twice this inning. Let that sink in.
First pitch, a strike to Matthews. Matthews already with 2 RBIs in this inning. 0-1. Case Sanderson's on deck. He's the only Kettleer without a hit today. He's got an RBI. 1-1 outside.
So Cape League data gets updated in real time. Cotuit has jumped to tied in 7th for homers. And in terms of runs scored, let's find that out real quick. They're all the way up to 5th.
Wow. 2-1. Fouled off. 2-2. Everyone in the starting lineup for the Kettleers has at least 1 RBI. 6 Kettleers have 2 or more. 2-2. Just caught a piece of it. All Kettleers in the starting lineup have come around to score. 6 of them 2 or more times. 2-2 with 2 outs. Grounder down the line and foul.
I wonder if at this point they even bring Perko back in. 3 2/3 innings deep. He hasn't touched the mound in a half hour, probably, maybe more.
I don't know if you can. I mean, his arm has been cold for the past 30-plus minutes. 2-2. Skips to the backstop. Matthews heading down to first on the dropped 3rd strike. So now Matthews has doubled, struck out, but reached base twice in this inning.
Now everybody has come to bat twice with Case Sanderson coming in. Look at that. Unbelievable.
Okay, so Matthews did strike out. That's the first strikeout of the afternoon for Wimbish. Calling it a wild pitch. Case Sanderson is the only Kettleer in the starting lineup without a hit. And he's up to bat. Chopper towards first. Don't think he'll get it there. Inning is retired. Kettleers plate 14 runs in the bottom of the 6th. They lead the Whitecaps 19-3. We'll head to the top of the 7th inning. Due up for the Whitecaps, Ragsdale, Fisher, and Lawson. This is Cape League Baseball on Cape League TV. Wow. just wrapped up finishing filling out our scorebooks. Think we're all caught up on the game, Connor. Kets are up 19-3. Lucas Perko, like we expected, he's remaining in the dugout. His arm was cold for just a little too long. And now out on the bump for the Kets.
That's Zane Coppersmith, one of the leaders in appearances this summer for the Kettleers. He's essentially playing closer here because if Brewster does not score 6 here, the game is over.
This game has just been an absolute wonky game. Swing and a miss. Josiah Ragsdale down on strikes. Coppersmith retires the first batter he faces. At one point, this was a 2-2 ball game. Over an hour and a quarter into this one, and we thought it was just going to be a low-scoring, slow baseball game.
Weren't we wrong? Jeez.
Jeez is right.
So, to say the least, July continues to be a nice month for the Kettleers. I think we can chalk them up to 4-1 in the month at this point.
Well, we can't count our chickens before they hatch, but I'll tell you what, a beak is peeking out of the egg. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Cal Fisher's up. 1 for 3 today. Oh, that's pinch hitter. Excuse me, that is Adam Magpock pinch hitting for Cal Fisher. Down in the count 0-2. Swing and a miss. Coppersmith back-to-back strikeouts. He's 1 out away from ending this ball game.
You think Coppersmith feels comfortable out there?
I don't think the offense gave him the run support he wants.
Something like that.
Another pinch hitter for the Whitecaps. Colin Priest, it looks like. Takes a first pitch ball. Priest hitting in place of Brendan Lawson. Popped him up sky high and foul ground. Giving chase is Johnson, and he'll make the catch. If you didn't see enough fireworks yesterday, you sure saw them today. Kettleers 19, Whitecaps 3, and that's the ball game.
Still speechless after that. That's I don't know how you get that hot in an inning, but the Kettleers, they smelled blood, basically rocked everything in the zone and pulled no punches. That 14-run 6th inning, you know, I think that's where this game turned around.
I don't know. Can we find another part of the game? I don't think that one was it. Man. Final line, Kettleers, 19 runs on 21 hits. 1 error. Brewster, 3 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors. Game ended at 7:43. 2 hours and 42 minutes past first pitch in front of over 2,000 people at Lowell Park. Chris Albright joined alongside Connor Shue. This is the Cotuit Kettleers post-game show.
Where do we start?
Man, I mean, I think I'm still in shock a little bit. As bad as it is to say, I think we need to start before the 6th inning was even a factor. I think we need to look at the first 3 innings.
Well, it's interesting because it looked like this was Brewster's game for a second. They were up 2-0 going into the bottom of the second, and Cotuit, I think what was great about this is not only, of course, the 6th inning, but they stayed resilient in 2 through 5. They scored 1 in the bottom of the second, 1 in the bottom of the third, 2 in the bottom of the fourth, one more in the bottom of the 5th, and at that point they led 5-3, and this one was kind of, I guess, back and forth, and you couldn't really tell who was going to come victorious in this one because Brewster wouldn't go away. The solo shot from Brendan Lawson kept this one alive, but then it was the bottom of the 6th, and the Kettleers scored a couple of runs.
Well, a couple might be a bit of an understatement. Just a phenomenal day, or phenomenal 6th inning. No one more happy than Lauren Hibbs, at least I would assume. He's standing down in the on-deck circle with the 3rd member of our team, Brooke Kilgore, to talk things over after just a phenomenal, phenomenal performance.
One second. Guys, I'm here with field manager Lauren Hibbs following that 19-3 absolute domination of a game. Coach, I could barely come up with questions to ask you tonight. I'm sure the dugout was rallied and you were hopefully blown away by that performance tonight.
Well, our guys, I think they listened. They got some rest last night. They came today, very purpose-driven. We prepared the right way, did everything right in pregame, and then obviously we played extremely well. So Brewster's got a good team. They're well coached. It just kind of got out of control there, and then what was it, the 6th inning, I guess, 5th or 6th inning. But again, we have a lot of respect for them, and our guys played exceptional today.
Coach, I had to bring a piece of paper out because I have so many numbers to read to you. First of all, you have set 2 league records this season. You have the most runs in a single game. The last one was, ironically, Brewster's blowout win against Bourne on June 20th. That was a 14-0 win. And then also the most hits in a single game. Last was Wareham's 17 knocks against Hyannis, ironically also on June 20th. You guys are leading the league, if you can believe it.
Like early in the season, it was a struggle, as everybody knows, but again, we keep making adjustments. We keep adjusting our pregame routine. Just thankful that our players are willing to let us coach them because sometimes that doesn't happen up here in this league. And they've all been receptive to coaching. And we pitched really well today too. And outside of, I think, one defensive miscue, I think Cam Johnson misplayed a ball. But again, we're starting to become a really good team.
Final question for you. Everyone saw back-to-back home runs that we had. Several. We had Ryan Farber, Nolan Stevens notching his first one, Jack Natilli as well. Your guys sending it yard in different spots of the field. What made them so aware of where to send that ball?
Just on time, Just get loaded early, get your foot down, and just be on time for what you're looking for. So, again, we're getting better. Proud of everybody. We still got guys kind of coming in and out. Z was really good. That'll be the last time he throws, and, he's going to have a great year for Stetson next year. So, again, we continue to try to manage the situation the best way we can, and we've stuck with some guys, and we've worked through some things instead of just running them off and releasing them and bringing new players in. So, hopefully people see the value in that, and the guys really appreciate the fact that we continue to stick with them, and we've tried to keep it from not being a revolving door here, and, again, just happy for our players.
All right, we're going to send it back up to the box to discuss that mind-boggling 19-3 win for the Cotuit Kettleers over to the Brewster Whitecaps.
Lauren Hibbs has to be happy with the 19 runs scored by Cotuit. And perhaps the best part of the night for the Kettleers, a lot of them seeing home runs for the first time this season. A lot of guys seeing those extra base hits, and once you see it, it becomes a lot easier to make that happen in the future.
I think something we've said a lot this summer is hitting is contagious, and you just explained it right there. Ryan Farber saw one go over the fence, so Nolan Stevens says, hey, I'll do you one better. Then Jack Natilli gets one of his own, and at that point, it's just pandemonium down there on the field, and everyone's buzzing. At that point, the game is over, and that was propelled by singles that turned into extra base hits, and that's exactly what you need. You can't bite off more than you can chew early, and I think that's exactly what the Kettleers did. One extra base hit 2 of them in the first 5 innings, and that just opened up the floodgates for so much more down the line for the Kettleers. 3 homers, couple doubles, and quite a few more singles in that 6th inning, which is probably the best offensive baseball that we will see from the Kettleers all summer. Just dominant at the plate right there. 21 hits as a team, and it's going to fly under the radar in this game, Chris, but the pitching was exceptional as well.
A lot of good to look at for this baseball game. Just an unbelievable performance. Everyone on the Kettleers now hitting above 200 on the season. Advincula up to 333. Bogenpole had a 4-hit day. Farber's above 300 comfortably. Camden Johnson now up to 273. Easton Winfield, 3 for 3 day. He's hitting 258. I mean, can you talk about the pitching?
I got you, Chris. So, I mean, Ian May, it was a tough start for him. Frankly, he went out there, allowed 5 or 6 hits in 2 1/3, 2 runs allowed, 1 strikeout. But Lucas Perko came in and did a job. If not for him coming in there and pitching 1-run ball, only allowed a couple of base runners in 3 2/3, striking out 3. I don't think this explosion would have happened in the 6th inning without him holding things together for the staff and keeping everything in check, because he was able to secure that lead for Cotuit. They got it with him on the bump, and he's going to earn the win in his first outing of the summer. He did a great job just hopping off the pine, hopping off the plane, and just doing an incredible job on the mound for the Kettleers after a long time cold. Probably hasn't pitched in a month since leaving Texas Tech for the summer. But he came in here and he did a great job in his first outing of his second summer with the Kettleers. And then Lauren Hibbs said it himself. Zane Coppersmith pitched a great final inning just to shut it down. At that point, the game was long over, but it was a great 1-2-3 inning for Coppersmith to end his summer. He said that was his last outing in a Kettleers uniform this year. Finished with 2 strikeouts and went 1-2-3. So, hey, you'll take that.
Think you will. I think you will. Wow. Great night. If you're still watching, go have some 4th of July leftovers. Enjoy the night. It's a beautiful one here in Cotuit. We've got plenty to look forward to. Plenty to look forward to coming up. Connor, are there any other games going on around the league right now?
Well, yes, there are. Great question, Chris. At this point, Chatham is down 6-1 to Harwich. Harwich beat Brewster yesterday 10-2, so these Whitecaps are taking the brunt of it. Wareham down 5-1 against Falmouth. Bourne up 7-1 on YD. And Hyannis up 8-6 on Orleans. So a couple of blowouts in addition to the Cotuit one we've seen. And, I'll give way to you because typically the copyright read is supposed to be done in the top of the 9th. But we've been caught off guard the past few games with how early these ones have been finishing. So let's hear that copyright read,
I'm going to try to do this legal read as serious as I can. Ooh, here we go. This broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited.
Oh, the paper snap. Okay.
Ket's got 21 hits. I got one good one with the copyright read.
There you go. Man.
Ooh. We had fun today.
I think the players did too.
Players have fun today. A lot of fun being had today in Cotuit, partner. I think without further ado, we got to get home. So for saying good night for Sorka Lewis, Riley Lewis, our producer and director, for the 3rd member of our team, Brooke Kilgore, for the interns that make it all possible here with Cotuit and all the volunteers involved with making this team so special, for Connor Shue and me, I guess, Chris Albright. We're saying good night from Lowell Park, where the Kettleers beat the Whitecaps 19-3. Happy 4th of July weekend, everyone.